You've missed
Good
it
afternoon.
so much.
I've missed it so much. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are tuning in to the
The distilleries
coming in.
distill it.
Distill It, a 360-degree view of life in sports. It's been 3 weeks, so I'm a little rusty. It's been way too long since we've been in studio here at UBN Go Network. Along with, first I'll introduce our engineer. Hi, Ryan. We've missed you.
I don't got a mic.
No, Mike. What the heck? But more importantly, my name is Wendy Rosenthal, and I am here with the always lovely, always talented, my travel partner, along with being my partner, the lovely Ira Schwitzer.
Hi.
Hi. We've been on the road a lot
We
too
have
this
been on
summer,
the road
man.
a lot, and when we don't have the show, you talk my ear off more than usual. So I'm happy to have us back in the studio today, where you
sorry
can
about
share.
that.
You can share your wealth with everyone
I need
else.
to. I want to. I didn't know I was talking your ear off.
I'm teasing
Anyway,
you.
I know you are. I know you are. How are you doing?
Fabulous.
Still
jet lagged.
I'm still jet lagged too. Yes, we had a race to the airport the other day that was it had to be guided by angels because I don't know how we actually made it to the airport on time. We are very excited to be back in studio, and we want to thank everybody for joining us. As you know, Ava and I are the founders of the Distillery Inc., a company that works with athletes to help them transition from their life in sports to a fulfilling life beyond sports. We are sports fans, sports lovers. Sports are in our blood, and that is why we are here usually every other week to bring some of the stories behind the scenes of sports to light. Everything from just your everyday athletes doing amazing things, meaning home athletes doing amazing things, to actual athletes, to the coaches, all the stories behind the scenes that a lot of times get overlooked. And we think it's really important to get those stories out there because sports, as far as we are concerned, is a metaphor for life.
Yep.
And we like to elevate amazing life stories.
We do indeed.
So we are going to be joined in a moment by an amazing man that we've had the privilege to meet, work with, and our kids have had fun at his new relatively new studio. Craig Juda, welcome.
Thank you very much for having me.
He is the founder, you're very welcome, of a very unique gym called WOLA here in Los Angeles. We wanted to talk about his story, which we will do in a minute, but as always, and we ask you to please join us in discussing kind of what's been going on in sports over the last 2 or 3 weeks. I hope by now, after listening to our show for the last year and a half or so, that you know my favorite sport, although I love all sports, is football. And oh my gosh, football is
It's almost
back,
here.
and Ava's going to be driven nuts because I'm going to want to talk about it every single time. You know, the first preseason game started, August 1st. I'm like, what are they doing? That's like really early. Usually it's like mid-August. They were only in camp for maybe a week, and you're throwing them out on the field. It wasn't a great game. But it was a game. I was so happy.
Hard Knocks. Hard Knocks is on now for the Raiders.
Yeah.
That's my team, so I get to watch them every single Sunday night.
Oh, nice. Excuse me.
This is.
I have to
how
ask,
are you?
Why are you a Raider fan?
How did that happen?
Excuse
I was
me.
born and raised in L.A., and the Raiders were here when I was a kid.
I know, so was I. But
I can never give up on the black and silver.
You can't go back to the Rams after all of that?
My kids are diehard Raiders fans. Yeah.
Well, at least, you can pop over to Las Vegas real fast to see them.
That is very, very true. I'm looking forward to that.
I don't know. I embraced the Raiders when they were here. I had my family had season tickets. We went to every single game.
Yeah.
But when they left, I was like,
I'm rooting for the Rams still, but I'm a diehard Raiders fan. So I can't give up on them.
Got to be an up-and-coming Charger fan, too, by the way. Have you seen that some of the polls are saying that some of the pundits are saying that the Chargers are going to go to the Super Bowl this year?
Well, if they have a running back.
How fun would that be?
Yeah. All right.
Love it.
Okay, so we won't dwell on football because it's going to be coming up this season, and I'm going to be very excited about it. We will dwell, as also if you've listened to our show for the last year or so, you know that Ava is part Colombian.
Colombian. There you go.
Please,
I should have worn my T-shirt for you. Colombian.
I know. I can't help how I pronounce it. I have to think about it. It's how I grew up. I'm trying. I know it's spelled with an O, everyone. C-O-L-O.
Thank you.
I may not pronounce it that way, but that's how it's
the
spelled.
Angelino in us.
I can't help it. Well, but she has the accent. Anyway, congratulations.
I have what
the
accent?
tournaments. You have a when you speak Spanish, you know how to speak it properly. When I speak Spanish, I speak it like an American speaking Spanish.
Yes.
Okay,
it's
so
true. I'm not holding it against you. It's amazing that you do.
You shouldn't. I didn't grow up with a mother who spoke Spanish.
Exactly.
I grew up with a mother who spoke Texan, which is worse.
So you are going where with this conversation, though?
Nowhere. I was just going to say congratulations.
Exactly.
To the first time ever in the history of the Tour de France, which is a grueling 21-day,
excruciating what they do.
And
we had our first Colombian winner.
Can we get some applause?
A huge congratulations, not just to Egan Bernal, but the entire country is beside itself. This is huge.
It was
huge. He had a major hero's welcome.
He did.
Yeah,
he must have.
It was phenomenal. Yeah,
well,
very cool. Super young, 22.
Can you imagine what his career is going to be? And he got the support. You know what I really loved about it? He got the support of his teammate, who was the odds-on favorite, or one of the odds-on favorite.
Exactly.
And he didn't. And he was so supportive. And all of the comments after it was kind of clear he was going to win. That I'm going to support him. It's all about him now. I was like, it's awesome.
Yeah,
it's the best thing about teamwork.
Exactly.
Best thing about teamwork.
It's so true.
Everybody should play sports on a team for that reason alone.
Yeah.
Maybe we'd all get along then.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm sure you watched every stage. Did you watch?
Not start to finish, but sort of, we were traveling a lot as well, and it was a little bit of a grueling schedule. I did some days I was able to watch the entire thing, and other days it was just sort of the highlights.
Not as grueling as stage 20.
The last couple of days. And certainly
that stage going up. Did you watch stage 20?
I did not see stage 20.
Straight uphill for 37 miles, something like that.
It's wild.
Was it the Pyrenees?
It's wild.
Was
it?
No,
I don't think
not
it was.
the Pyrenees.
No.
I'm wrong.
I don't know.
But it was grueling.
It was grueling.
Yeah.
There's a lot of other stuff happening, I'm sure. So please feel free to comment and let us know what you'd like to talk about. I will say that we always enjoy hearing your comments and your feedback. So if you would like to, you can comment on our Facebook pages at live as we are talking, and we try and incorporate your comments into the show. Or you can call us at 323-524-2599, and we would be happy to take your call. All right. Now, back to you, Craig. Spotlight's on you.
I'm here. I'm ready for it.
We're very excited. I'm going to let you do an introduction of yourself, because you're always going to do it. As I say to all of our guests, you're going to do it better than I'm ever going to do it.
I'll do my best.
Give us a couple of minutes about where you came from, how you started, and what led you to WOLA.
Perfect. Born and raised in Los Angeles, like you two, and went into a family business for 20 years that started in 1934 by my grandfather. And it was institutional trading, so we did big share trades compared to retailer clients. Great company, lasted a long time. It was called Sutro & Company, was bought out by Royal Bank of Canada, John Hancock. Then we got it back. We joined a firm in 2001, I believe it was, with Sanders Morris Harris, which is a Houston-based energy, oil, and gas company. After that, there was a third acquisition, and then we decided to open up our own shop called the Juda Group. Did the same thing. We did semis and optical stocks. My brother Scott was the CEO. My brother Junior was a trader next to me. My father was the boss of everybody.
Yeah.
And there's about 20 of us, and it went for 3 or 4 years, and then we sort of decided to do our own things, which is really good. There's a third acquisition, but this was not a financial one. This is one that sort of gave us the opportunity to pursue our passions. And I've always been somebody who's been involved in sports. Lucky enough, at a young age, I played baseball all year round, being in California. I don't recommend that today to play sports all year round. I believe you should switch it up and get muscle memory, but when we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
But I will say it led me to a great life. In high school, I played on 2 U.S. baseball teams, one in Australia, one in Germany for 2 weeks at a time during Christmas, and then lucky enough, going to Crossroads, I got to go to Pepperdine University, where the year after they won the World Series as a walk-on. Unfortunately, I had 2 knee surgeries in the first 3 months there. And Coach Andy Lopez at that point was like, it's not going to be here.
Sure.
And my entire family went to USC. So for me, that's where fight on everybody, where the opportunity came on. And so that summer, I got to play in NCAA Win and Bat League for the White Sox. Mm-hmm. And I played 5 games a week, 1 on Wednesday, 2 doubleheaders Saturday and Sunday. I caught all 5 games. I was a small catcher, but I had a good arm and it got me to where I was at. It just became a business. And I skipped my USC tryouts going into my sophomore year. I don't think my father was too happy with that, but I was content, and I knew that, I'm going to go have fun now in college.
Right.
And lucky enough, I was telling Ara earlier, is that about 13 of my closest friends went to USC with me. So, we had fun in our fraternity.
You have smart friends.
Yeah.
You and your smart friends.
Totally. I don't know if I can get in today, but, then it was the greatest opportunity. And USC was really, really great to me.
Funny that you say that. I don't know that I could get in today.
Yeah.
Not because I don't have enough money to buy my way in. Sorry,
Let's
I had
not
to
go
say
down that
it.
way.
We won't
So
go down that way,
awful.
but it's a lot. You have to have higher grade point average. You have to
Yeah.
have higher grade point average and SAT scores nowadays.
Yeah. So, after we closed our firms, to finish off what my 2 minutes there is, I was sort of looking around for what to do. I went to a couple corporate interviews and came home one day, and lucky enough, I have the best spouse. And she's like, I'm like, I can't do it anymore. I cannot pursue that. And business treated me well, and my family's been very good to my family, to, my immediate family, and been raised in a great place. And I wanted to go work out with my son. I just couldn't find a place. And my son's 15 now, my daughter's 12, and I couldn't find that place. So I started looking around, not to bring up a controversy of SoulCycle, but they were the only ones that allowed 14 and above. But my son's a boy. He didn't want to go there.
Sure.
And so was playing. Yeah.
I'm sorry, 14, and he doesn't want to go to SoulCycle.
Well, he's just not a biker, right? And so it's a beach cruiser. We're a beach cruiser family. We want to.
I got it. I was
Totally.
referencing more the hot
Oh,
women.
he wanted to be
on,
there for that.
Yeah.
Yes. But then we'd have to pick up the drool, So, but
They have towels.
They do. But it came down to that I couldn't find a place, and then I played basketball every Wednesday night at my kid's school, and all the money that we raised for that goes directly to school. So we pay for the gym, and we raised about $10,000 a year playing basketball with all the guys. And I brought it to my business partner named Leonard Chung, and Leonard did iBanking for 20 years at Bank of America Merrill Lynch. Did a great job at his job, and 3 kids in high school, 1 in elementary. And I said, hey, let's go work out the kids. And he's like, I can't find a place. Then we started looking around California, couldn't find it. Then we started looking around Arizona, looking everywhere.
Yeah.
We couldn't find it, and that's when the red light went off.
That was going to be my first question.
Yeah.
You would think it would be an obvious thing,
Certainly, at least the big cities. Like, why wouldn't LA have something like that?
But why
New
wouldn't
York.
any place?
Well, it is for sure a challenge, and
why?
I'll tell you why, because it hasn't been done. And to me, lucky enough, I have a really great mentor who owns Sports Club of LA, the one on Sepulveda and sold to Equinox, and he's great friends with my father-in-law. His name is Rex Slicklider, and he's like, you're going to have a hard time. But he set up meetings for me, lucky enough, with CEOs of Yoga Works and other companies.
Sure.
And they said, why don't you just sell it to the big box? We can take what you're doing and put it there. And to me, it was a challenge. They're saying it's going to be so hard. For me, that was the passion.
Yeah.
Like, okay. And then I hear...
Can I stop you really
course.
fast? What is so hard? You mean running a gym is so hard, or allowing kids to be in for whatever reason?
Just getting a place for parents to say, hey, my kids are going to go work out for 45 minutes. It just hasn't been there. They want to throw them in sports. They want to do something. But there's so many kids that are not involved in sports.
Right.
Yeah.
And they don't want to be involved in sports. And if they're not involved in sports, what do? They go home and they play on their video games.
Sure.
They sit, they don't exercise because no one's driving them to do it.
Yeah.
And so at first when we were opening up, it was like, hey, let's do this for the kids that are not really wanting to do a lot. But then it turned really fast. We're like, no, there's people that want to be here besides that. Mm-hmm. And so we were lucky enough to build it out. And now we're having parents come and adults while their kids are working out separate from them, and they're working out in their own gym. And it's not an easy thing to say, oh, we were going to make fitness fun, because kids don't like PE, right? And now they're getting rid of PE.
Right.
Now there's teenage obesity, there's child obesity, there's technology usage.
Yeah.
And all I heard was all the moms and dads at our kids' school saying, oh my God, my kid's getting big. My kid's not moving his body. And that was the real big light of like, I'm going after this. So I started talking about it with Leonard, and we wrote a business plan. And, you know, Leonard said something to me right away. He's like, I'm leaving my job for this. And he has 3 kids. And I'm like, don't do that. Mm-hmm. And he goes, no, I see something here. And when he did that, and Leonard is a very quantitative guy, really smart, really driven. And he said, this is something that needs to be done. And when he said it, it was like, okay, my confirmation, not just from my family, but from him. And we started talking amongst our friends, and it turned into something that took us about 1.5 years to get there.
Yeah, always does.
It's finding the location.
Sure.
It's, you know, building it up. You're from scratch. You know, I could have opened a normal gym, but that's saturated.
Yeah.
So what can I do different? And my whole thing is I coach kids in Beverly Hills Baseball League. I coach them in Wilshire Warriors. I've taught soccer. How can I do it this way? And so that's what we're doing right now. We're making a 45-minute fun fitness exercise for kids, for parents, for families, for singles, for anybody to come in and have a good time. And I think so far we're doing a good job at it.
Well, my son certainly enjoyed it, and I know that Ava had her son's birthday party there, so he clearly loves it. No, I think it's, besides just fun, I want to touch on a point, particularly because I'm sure you're seeing it a lot, is the challenge that parents are faced with in terms of motivating their kids to get out and move. Now, I'm going to say this, Ava is amazing. She takes care of her body. She works out every day, and her kids, like, that's in their system, like they're going to be that way. I love to move and work out. I've been a runner my whole life. But I'm not like as dedicated. Like if I'm tired, I'm tired. And so I'm lucky that my son likes to move, but I see this struggle now because, you know, like he's in coding camp this week and he's having a ball, and he's almost having more fun in coding camp than he did at flag football, which he loved. So I see this tension. How do you encourage parents, or what do you think the challenge is for parents now that they're faced with not only their own, I may not get out and work out every day, so how am I getting my kid? PE, like you're saying, is out, and the screen time. Like how do you motivate parents?
I think one of the biggest things is once they come in, once you're there, you understand. So compared to any other business, we're just a happy-go-lucky place. And we're not there to scream at you, push you. We're there to guide you and make it fun. So a lot of boot camps you go to or high-intensity interval training, you know, we call it high energy. We don't call it high intensity because that's really intimidating. We want people to come in and try it. So our first thing is like, come and try it. Don't buy it. Come and try it first class for free, right? If the kids don't like it, there's nothing I can do about that. But another example of it is having a parent or a guardian there doing a workout in the class next door to them. They're doing the same exact workout.
Right.
How many push-ups did you do? Oh, I did 5. I did 4. Oh, really? What'd you do in this section? What we realized in studying, not just this works with the mind, but the average conversation with a teenager of listening is 1.5 seconds.
Yeah.
That's how long they listen to us.
Right.
So we only have a split second.
I thought it was just me.
No, it's just that split second, right? Of grabbing them. Well, for us, it's really grabbing them. We have different colored lights in the rooms. We do obstacle courses to get their body moving. But what it's come down for me as a parent, not only that, is we're going down a path right now. And that path is where these kids are sedentary kids. This is the first generation that's not supposed to outlast their parents. And if they're not going to outlast us, we need to do something about it. We talk about health. We talk about fitness. We talk about movement, but we don't give them a place to do it.
Right.
So my whole thing is, hey, here's the place. It's going to take time to build for people to understand, to promote it, to word of mouth, doing a podcast, whatever it is.
Yeah, and changing the mindset.
Correct.
It's changing the mindset because I think certainly as parents, you get so used to, I'm dropping my kid off at what they have to do. So it's soccer practice or whatever it is. There's no sense of we're going to do it together.
Correct.
You know, I mean, I'll take my kids to soccer practice, but I will do laps. We'll play together.
But
and
what
then
do most parents
then they
do?
have practice. Right. You drop them off. You take off.
I mean,
you and I were laughing.
Or they sit on their phone, right? So Leonard, this
sorry.
is
right.
Ava's out because our kids play in a lot of teams together. Ava is out there running. I am sitting there like this, or every now and then I'll get up and do something.
So your time is precious, right? Your time is super. You're a hardworking mother, and you're traveling back and forth, and so you need to get that work done that 45 minutes. But you also need to take care of yourself.
For sure.
And so Leonard used to take his daughter to a gym that did gymnastics, and he would sit there for 45 minutes to an hour on his phone. He's like, why can't I work out? Why can't you put a treadmill in here for me? And that's where, you know, a lot of it started being brought up and talking about. And so it's leading by example. It's taking the time out for yourself. And in my opinion, after working out, your endorphins, you feel better.
Oh, 100%.
The kids study better. It's known. And I mean, we just didn't open up a gym and say, hey, parents and adults, come in here, right? Just come in here because we're doing it for kids. Yeah. We work with Cedars. We work with St. John's. We work with Children's Hospital. We work with 3 different pediatric groups. The reason we did that is for moms or dads who came in saying, is this safe? Because when we grew up, lifting heavy weights stunning to growth, right?
Right.
That's not true.
Yeah, exactly.
If you want to talk to Dr. Skaggs, who's the head of the orthopedic at Children's Hospital, he will walk you through the whole thing. And just to have that, we are now have a prescription where fill out prescription, the doctors, and send children our way. It's not an insurance thing right now, but it's a thing that they're seeing pre-diabetics or kids that are young diabetic. And so when they come in there, we had one girl that came in pre-diabetic. She came 19 days straight in a row. First day she wore a trench coat, didn't want to have any happiness in her. Next day it was a high five. The third day, coat was off. The smiles are starting. And she saw the movement change. And so did the mom, but the mom was there every day doing the class next door. So I'm sure that was a great motivation for her as well.
Do you do classes where parents are in the same room as the kids?
Yeah, so we have adult classes every day that run from 6 o'clock to 7 p.m. at night. And then we have during the afternoon 3:40 and 4:30 kid classes. At the same time, there's an adult class. We now have added during Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday a fit family class.
It's so much fun.
So 3:40 and 4:30, we hold up to 18 people. Just to give you a brief background why we do that. Majority of students are 40, 50 people. You are not seeing form. I train now. I've got my everything. We have 8 other trainers. You cannot see form. So we limit ours to 2 per station. For the fact being that your form can always be corrected. And we're very hawkeye on that. So we look at it, we correct you, we make sure that you're doing things properly.
Well, I just want to say, having now done this show for a couple of years and had several different trainers from different disciplines on, the fact that you're saying that, I give a ringing endorsement to you just right there, because we know from multidisciplinary trainers and what they do, that the minute a trainer is not looking at your form, or you're in a class where nobody is paying attention, then you're gonna get hurt.
You're at risk.
Correct.
You're at risk, and you are gonna get hurt.
And I am one of those people. I had back surgery 4 years ago. I know where I got hurt. I will not name the place I got hurt. I went there religiously 5 days a week. But my form was never corrected. It was never corrected. And one day I just lifted a little weight and I just knew it right there and then. And so I fought it for a year. I tried to go through plank holds and did it, and did a mud run when I felt good for 2 weeks. And then it shot back. And it was the best surgery I've ever had. I don't promote surgery, but it was the best one I've ever had. And in our business plan, Leonard and I really made sure that form was corrected. And all of our trainers, once a month we meet, we have a gathering, we go through all the exercises together. How do you teach it? How do you teach it? We all bring our own vibe, right? We all have our own music, but are we teaching it the same way? And to us, Simone Velick right now is our head of programming. She's been in the game for 20 or 25 years now. And it's, she's our final stop. Now, we have other trainers there that will suggest things and we'll feed off of each other. But we do want to make sure that we're doing everything properly. Hinging at the hips if it's a deadlift, if it's bending your knees, if it's getting your shoulders back and having a proud chest, whatever the right things are doing, we want to make sure that that is taught to you. So if you're not working out with us and you do go somewhere else, that's up to you. Do the proper form so you don't get hurt. Yeah.
So how do you talk to the parents who still want to come in, drop off their kid to take a class and
It
sort of
happens
hang
every
out?
day.
Does it?
How do I say? I'd say, hey, when are you coming in? And I do it with a smile on my face, like, when are you going to come in? And they're like, oh, I'm busy. And I'll say, we're still waiting for you. And so majority of the time, within a week, they're trying the class. For the fact being that their kids are coming out. We had a new girl this week. She didn't want to come in first. She's been there for, this will be her 4th day in a row. And it's awesome to see. Now the mom's trying it. And so those little things is, I think I mentioned to you, and I think I mentioned to Wendy, was you can have one bad coach in your life and it can ruin it for you. Our instructors have to work with both the kids and the adults, no matter what, or you're not going to be working for us. And the fact that is because I don't want your son saying, Mom, why didn't I get to work out with, Arian, or why didn't I get to work out with Rachel or Tiffany or whoever it is, right? And so we made that be inner swap, so that would never be a thing. I truly believe that we're on the right path. And obviously, Leonard and I, if you don't know this, we didn't do this for one. We're looking in New York right now. We're looking to expand when it's the right opportunity. And we think this is something that needs to be addressed. I relate it to letter writing. And when we used to write letters and thank you notes, cards, I always enjoy receiving a letter. It's the nicest thing ever. But now it's all instant messaging or emails, correct? And so I feel like we're in the forefront of what's going on right now. And that's why we wanted to be first to market. I'll be flattered if people copy us, but they're still us. And building our community is super important. And that's where we differentiate from most people. We kept our rates extremely low. And they're still low. They're only at $139 right now. If you join for 2 people, it goes down to $90 per person to $180. If you join for the 3rd person, $245, $81. So we're trying to make this something fun and not an obligation every day saying, oh my God, to pay for this
Exactly.
month. And so we're trying to do that, and it's having fun doing it, and I'm passionate about it.
And it's fun, it's accessible, it's easy to integrate into your life. Because I think that's a lot of times it's where people struggle, is how do I make this fit into our daily life,
Correct.
routine? How do you do that? But it's something you can easily add to your, you know, whatever your
It's
regimen
45
is.
minutes of your day.
Exactly. And it's fun and simple.
Yeah.
You know, and I think for so many people, you think about, I have to get in shape. You need to go and kick your butt in some really intense spin class, some intense whatever class it is. That's not always the case.
Yeah.
You need to go and do something that's just fun.
And some people
you
not
know?
realize it's body weight exercises.
Yeah.
We don't have any plug-in equipment. You know, this is mountain climbers. This is Bosu slams. This is Supermans. This is Bosus. You know, these are things that are simple for us to do.
Yeah.
It's just doing it
Yeah.
and creating a place that's fun, energetic, and doing it.
Yeah.
And so that's what we're trying to do here.
Yeah, and it teaches kids so much. I mean, we had my daughter, as you know, is very athletic,
Yes.
and she's been having just a little bit of heel pain, and I knew it's just a growth issue. It's just in her heels. It's a growth issue. I'm like, we'll stretch, we'll do some of that, but she wanted to be safe, and I completely encouraged us. We went to see her pediatrician yesterday. The pediatrician says, you know, yes, it's what it's called Sever's disease, and so we'll just put you on some anti-inflammatories, Advil a couple of times a day. And she's looking at me, she's like, okay, Mom, so tomorrow can we go do cryotherapy? And so we'll go back to doing these stretches. Like, she already knows she knows how to stretch, she knows what to do to address whatever. She goes in for the diagnosis. That's it.
Yeah.
You know, like, now I know what the diagnosis is. I know how to tackle that.
Well,
But she has
a mother that does that, to be honest with you.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, it becomes part of their routine when they're exposed to this.
Yeah.
So that naturally, that's what they gravitate towards.
Yeah.
It just becomes part of life.
I am going to agree and disagree with you. And I'm going to agree with you because yes, but I think that I go back to the parent. You know, I mean, I'm going to look at myself I am not a parent who, you know, I'm going to go to a doctor, and if they say take Advil, they're going to take Advil. So, and I'm not. I admire the fact that 1,000% you do. I wish I was a parent that way. So I'm now going to come at it from a parent who isn't that. Yeah. Even attuned to my own body, which I think is an interesting thing that you're doing. And I'm curious how, you know, again, even if you have the parent in one room and the child in the other, to Aira's point, how can you help parents be more aware? Like, Aira, that's her, it's her thing.
But that was my point. It wasn't about Advil or no Advil. My point that I wanted to make, but my point that I wanted it to end with was that because she's been exposed for so long, even if I wasn't that parent, like I am, being around the people like you in a facility that you provide, giving the classes and the instruction that you do, allows her to be able to learn that on her own.
And I would say with Wendy too, is that you are driven. Yeah. You are a driven mom, and your kids see that, you know, and that's admirable. Is driven.
No, it's amazing.
And they have adapted to that. That's who they are. The cryotherapy thing, I was thinking of Antonio Brown. I don't know if you guys saw his. I don't know if you guys saw his feet.
My kids were showing me that video. They were beside themselves.
Would you see what he went over? I think it was in Germany to get work on his body, just like Kobe and everybody does. And he got frostbite on his feet. Yeah. And this is the best receiver in football.
Exactly.
Sorry, they're switching subjects, but he showed a picture of his feet on Instagram the other day. And I was like, oh my God, I'm never doing cryotherapy. So.
But did he not wear the booties that they make you wear?
He didn't wear
well, then.
Oh, he didn't?
He did, yeah. Well, wasn't wearing the proper footwear.
Well, then you're.
Yeah, you got to do it right.
That answer. That's the part I didn't hear. Correct.
We've done cryotherapy, and they had us all in stuff.
So now I'm going to try it. I take that back.
Oh, it's amazing. You got to do it. Oh, it's awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll make it a date.
We're big advocates of it.
Yeah, I'll try it now.
Yeah.
That's awful, but you know what?
That's the photo.
But let me.
I'm not gonna show it.
Oh no, you gotta show it. Come on. No, but the point is that okay? Well, so he went someplace where they weren't taking care of him because if you're gonna be in sub-zero,
or he decided not to take care of himself.
Yeah,
fine, whichever.
Yeah.
But
it's great.
Correct.
It's awesome. You should do it.
I'm gonna try it.
Yeah,
you got me hooked.
You'll love it.
I'm in.
You'll love it.
I believe you too. I trust you.
Yeah.
But no, I'm curious again. You know, I feel like there's I'm the half in, half out mom. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's use that example. Okay. I'm the half in, half out mom. I love doing all these things, and I definitely push my son to get out. He's gonna play sports. I don't care how much he loves coding. He's always going to have a blend of you. In fact, we've talked about we're setting him up. We're leaving one discipline coming to you guys because I think he'll enjoy it more.
Yeah.
But what's the conversation that you can have with parents in your setting to help them start to have a dialogue with their kids about exactly. Ava knows how to have that dialogue with my son. It's funny when he has a body ache after playing flag football. It's like, oh, okay, you have a body ache. I'm kind of like, well, go lie down.
Yeah. So how old is he?
He's 7. Him and David.
Okay. So 7. So you have an older child. Your daughter's older, like my son. There's only a certain point where your kids are going to do sports. Mm-hmm. It's sooner or later. It's like, do I have to drag them here for another practice and another sport if they don't want to do it?
Right.
And so what I talk to parents about is I always, and all the trainers do as well, we talk to the parents after the class. So either we'll walk out, I walk them out to their car, or they're coming in and explain what they did today.
Okay.
And, there's sometimes too, I pull parents aside and say, he was a little disruptive today. I just want to let you know. I don't know if there's something going on, but, we sort of had to tell them, like, you can't interrupt somebody else's 45 minutes of exercise. Yeah. If you want to sit down and watch, you're more than welcome to do that, but you just can't interfere with it because people are paying for something. It's like going to a movie theater. You don't scream when the movie's going on. So we have those conversations, and I am very forward to people, and I'll say, hey, they did a great job in this. They did a great job here. They said their ankle was a little sore, where there's an ankle sore before. And the first thing we always do as trainers is, do you have anything that is sore? Is there any injuries that we need to know about? Yeah. That's the first question. And if you
even to the 7-year-olds,
everybody, straight off, is there anything? And we always ask the parents or somebody dropping off, just in case the 7-year-olds don't. There has been, kids that don't say something, and then they come out like, oh, I hurt my ankle yesterday. Right. Well, I didn't know that. We asked you.
Exactly.
And so we would have modified. And so, for us, it's modification for every exercise. So every exercise, there's a progression and there's a regression. And if that means that you're modifying it, it doesn't mean you're not pushing as hard as Era's doing it. It means that you're doing it to your ability.
Exactly.
And that's the one thing that we do is everything to your ability.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
We have a caller.
I love callers.
We love callers.
We love callers. Hi, caller.
Hi there.
You've reached Distill It. How are you today?
I am doing great. I'm loving the podcast so far.
Thank you.
Thank you. Who are we talking to? What's your name?
This is James. I'm dialing in from New York City.
Amazing.
All right, James. Oh, we were just in New York.
We're in New York every week, James.
Yeah, we were rushing to the airport.
You guys should grab dinner.
Yeah, James,
we will.
It is possible to get from Midtown Manhattan to the airport and on a plane in an hour. Shocking. We didn't know it was possible.
And through security.
And through security, yeah.
Wow.
What's your question?
That's a good feat.
I know. We were shocked. What's your question? What would you like to talk about today?
We're bi-coastal. We come to LA often, and we've taken our 3 boys to the studio. Love it. Love the idea of being able to work out myself while the boys are getting their own workout. It's just one of the more special things out there. And I love to hear. I heard Craig talking about New York. Would love to see one out here. Curious about back to school, what we can expect. Are there programs geared for the kids coming out once school starts again?
That
is a wonderful question.
That's a great question. And James, I'm sorry, I'm going to hop on the back of that. After you answer that first part of James's question, I also want to say, what can you offer parents as some tips for back to school, getting your kids back into that routine again?
So to answer his question first, we just finished this yesterday. We are doing something that we haven't done before. We've only been in operation for a year. As I said, we want to make everything accessible as much as possible. Yeah. And so Mercedes, who is does our engagement officer for us, and Leonard and my wife, who helps out, we sat down and we're doing a 6-week series. So if kids they want to come Thursday, they come every Thursday for 6 weeks. We're doing it for $20 a class. So it's $120 for 6 weeks. Okay. You can't get a babysitter for $20. It's what it is. So we're trying to make it accessible. We also have a dance aerobics class in the afternoons every Thursday and Friday that does 70s, 80s dance aerobics. Yeah. And it's bringing it back to the 70s and 80s. They have the music. It's great. The lights are going on. The glow lights are going on.
And that's only for kids, not for adults?
We've asked.
Darn it.
This is actually we've had a couple adults jump in the class, and they actually enjoy it. And so the kids are like,
I'm an 80s baby. I mean, I'm an 80s. And so my time.
We're doing series now. So we're trying to get, parents, we want our kids scheduled.
Sure.
So we're trying to do scheduling out. So we're doing 8-week series. We have a boxing class for the kids that we call Fight, which is called.
Yeah. Do you have a boxing class for adults?
We do every single Saturday. It's called Fight, but it's called Protective High Intensity Group Training. And so that's a great class. That's an hour long. We have the WPA program. We see a lot of driven athlete kids in our facility. And the WOLA Performance Academy is done by Arian. And it is for kids to work on stability, core, strength, injury prevention. You use a lot of mini bands. You do a lot of plyo work, a lot of speed work, band work. So those are our after schools every single day. I've approached all the schools with this. We're sending it out actually on Monday morning to all of our current people that we have on our list. All of our WOLA family, we call them family. Family can be friends. It could be anybody. But when you're in our facility, you are our family. And what was the last part of that question?
Well, I was asking, first of all, James, are you coming out here? Are we going to see you visiting?
Yeah, when you come
with
out.
that schedule?
We'll be out there in 2 weeks. We'll be at the studio.
Awesome.
That's right. I love it.
We really appreciate you calling, and we really appreciate you
Thanks,
listening.
James.
And please, if you like what we're doing, spread the word. What I was asking on the back of that, just from a bye. And Ryan's like, you didn't say goodbye. Sorry, James. Thanks for calling. I was asking on the back of that. So, yes, coming in and doing your amazing, your amazing classes and your amazing workshops and all those things.
Yeah.
I get it, and I'm there, and I love it. But let's say parents aren't living close enough or something like that. What do you recommend as a trainer of kids that parents can be thinking about as they're preparing them to go back into school, as they're preparing them, like summer, I'm sorry, summer has been, even I've been on like another planet.
Start with walking your dog, going outside, playing catch. The old things that we did, you don't see anymore. You don't see kids in the front yards. Our one of our biggest mottos is keep active, keep moving. It's not about losing weight for us. It's not about losing inches. It's about moving your body, either cardiovascular, resistant training, whatever that might be. But so for us, my son the other day, he's like, can we go play catch? Went outside and play catch, ride a skateboard around the block, whatever it might be, just move your body. For him, he likes doing a lot of hikes at Runyon. Like that's what he likes to do. That's one of his good things. We are a surf family. I'm always in the water. I'm boogie boarding. I am paddle boarding. That's what I call my therapy. It's my ocean therapy. And lucky enough, my kids want to do that nonstop. Unfortunately, being in a startup business, I'm there this morning at 5:15, and I taught 4 classes already this morning, and I'm going back. But right now, just like your podcast, when you're passionate about something, it's not the monetary value that's pushing me right now, even though we're spending, don't get me wrong. We want to make that less, but it's the passion behind it. And if people can't see when they come in, the passion behind all of our trainers or what we're doing, we want that open feedback. We want them to say, hey, you need to work on this. We're super transparent, and we want to adjust what we need to adjust. And if we need to accommodate children at different hours, then that's what we're going to end up doing. But to get kids motivated, to move their body in the summer, especially before school, it's just getting out, go move your body for 20 minutes. They say an hour at play 60. Michelle Obama, great movement. I love it. Yeah. Getting your kids to do something for an hour is very difficult. And so right now, just get them out there, going swimming.
Yeah. But do you recommend, that's a great point. Yeah. So let's say get out there for an hour. I find it much easier if I say, okay, take a 20-minute break and go out. So is like 20 minutes 3 times a day or 20 minutes 4 times a day as good, as positive?
You're moving your body, you're getting out. It's like taking tests. Sitting down for an hour, it's really difficult. You do it for 20 minutes, you take your break and you refresh yourself and get back in.
Sure.
It just gets them more focused. You get out there and get those endorphins flowing, and then you come back and your mind's, okay, I need to focus on this right now.
Right.
And so, I say anytime that you can get outside, especially with your kids, without your kids, single, married, whatever it is, move your body.
Okay.
This is our only thing that we have to live. And if we don't take care of it, that's your choice. I love In-N-Out. I love all the burgers. I do all that kind of stuff. But on the other hand, I work out so I can go do those things. But I'm very cautious of what I do put in my body. But on the other hand, we don't change who we are as parents for my kids. If they want to go get something, they can go get it. They just know that it's not how I always operate.
Right.
But, it's just having a happy-go-lucky family and pushing it. And trust me, there's struggles in everybody's family. So
that's for sure.
Yeah. So,
Will you talk to us a bit also about just the types of trainers that people can expect to have access to? Because I know when I was in there, I had the former football player. I had Simone, she's like an amazing musician, a DJ as well. Like just really incredible, talented people.
Yeah, so I can go through them. Arian played football at University of North Carolina for the current quarterback of the Chicago Bears. Stavinsky was his center. He is a full vegan, lost 100 pounds after college and really took care of himself. And He is absolutely outstanding. He runs our WOLA Performance Academy, very driven, very happy-go-lucky. Simone, as you said, is a DJ too. She was from Jamaica, moved to New York, and she's head of our programming. She is a beast. Her classes are awesome.
Yeah.
Tiffany has a dance background, and she is newer to the game. So another thing that we do different is we allow trainers to work on the front desk who are new to the game, sort of shadow, and then when we have time, we allow them to go in. And it's very hard to break into this industry. People don't give you the opportunity.
Right.
And so Rachel, she moved out from New York, another person, happy-go-lucky. I mean, just a great smile, great attitude, always super positive. Ren came from New York. She worked at Equinox. All these people came in. She's a tier 3 trainer at Equinox. Zumba teacher. She teaches our 70s to 80s dance. Michelle worked at Hulu for years, and she used to do a lot of yoga. She's a trainer and very holistic. You walk in and talk to her, and you're going to feel like, okay, this is the person. You know, she's
I'm
just
zen. I'm there.
She is great. She is totally zen. I know I'm and Cedric. Cedric comes in every single day and he says, "Hello, beautiful people. How you doing?" Every day. I don't care if he's in a bad mood or what. You'll never know. He's from Atlanta, Georgia. Came out here. He was an amateur boxer in college, or college boxer. He runs our boxing class called Fight, and the energy there is just. There's something about it. And I think everybody brings their own energy. But on the other hand, you know, we all have one common goal, and that common goal is to help people. And for me, it's extremely great to get a high five. It is extremely great to see a smile on the face.
Sure.
It's great to say a thank you. But it's also having them come back. And the one thing you'll see from us, and you can read online or whatever, is we are a family unit, meaning that when you come through, it's like coming into your house. We're not a gym that's going to yell at you. We're there to care. And if you can't see that, it might not be the right place for you. But I guarantee once you come in, you're going to see that's what we're about.
Yeah, very disarming.
Yeah. And so, you know, we work on it. We listen. And if we don't listen and learn every day, then we're not doing justice to our business. And so Leonard and I always take feedback. It's consistent. If there's something that you don't see as business owners, which we don't call ourselves, we are co-employees. I clean toilets, I scrub floors, I vacuum. That's who we are.
Sure.
And so it's lead by example. And so we have a great staff, from Mercedes, who's taken over all of our engagement, to Vanessa, who's been there. She works at SoulCycle too. I mean, we just have a great crew of people.
Sure.
I just want to touch on this before we're almost done today.
We don't have another hour?
Can you believe it? It goes by so fast.
Coming back next week, guys.
Yeah, you've got so much to say. No, I do want to point out or ask you one thing, because both you and your partner made serious life changes in pursuing WOLA, and I think it's, you know, we always talk about transitions, because that's what we do in our business. You know, we help people through a transition. And I just wondered if you could spend a couple of minutes talking about, first of all, the challenges of deciding a life in sports, because that's what you are in now. It's like funny, where our transition is usually from sports to something different. Yours is from something different to sports. What are the internal challenges about that, and how has, you know, the fact that you went into sports maybe helped ease those challenges, or what?
Well, I was not in a good place, I think, for like 3 months after. You know, I was looking, and I was searching for something that I didn't know. And so, lucky for me, I have a great support system. I do see, as you guys work with athletes, I do see these athletes, and you wonder why they crash down and they don't do well. You know, when you're given every single thing every single day from the age of 9, getting shoes, saying you're great at everything, and all of a sudden that's taken away, and they don't realize, especially pro football, you know, the average career is 3 years, right? There's no guaranteed contracts. If any sport, it should probably be that. But for me, having a really good support system, my wife, Katrina, she's been extremely great with it, super supportive. My parents are super supportive. My brothers, everybody was there. But there was that point where, like, what am I going to do in my life? And I felt low. I don't want to use the word depressed, but I did. There was a point where I was like, should I do it or should I not? But I knew if I went to the corporate world, that I would not be doing what I should be doing. And my life has always been, I care for others more than myself. Now I realize in life, and going through talking to therapists and going through the thing, is if you don't take care of yourself first, how do you take care of others? And so I fought that resistance. I was raised in a family where you don't seek therapy, where you don't do those things. And that is not against them. It's just how we're raised.
Sure.
And thankfully, you know, my wife pushed and said, you should go talk to somebody. And I did. And it was really, really great that I could, first of all, afford doing it.
Yeah.
That's a different thing. I wish there was more affordable people to talk to.
Right.
But I believe in venting and getting things off. And I'm always an ear for others. So it really helps me grow. And my wife has always been an ear for others. And it's helped us grow. And so for me, you know, it was getting that green light saying, pursue it. You know, and this is not something I can pursue forever if it doesn't work out, but I really believe we're on that path. And, you know, as James said, we're looking in New York. We think that New York is the right place because 10 months out of the year, it's not great weather. And we really believe the family units there would do it.
Yeah.
And so, you know, for me, it was a battle, but once I made that decision, it was full bore.
Is there any metaphor in sports that helped you get through that you learned because of your training and what you do?
There was an article I read yesterday. It was called Never Give Up by a woman named Wendy. And I thought it was a great article. And I saw something on Instagram yesterday, too, from Kobe Bryant. And Kobe Bryant said, you know, you can dribble 100 times between your legs, but if you want to be a scorer, you got to do your footwork and shoot nonstop.
Yeah.
I read your article yesterday, and I've always believed in never give up. When a team is down, and talking about the Minnesota Vikings games that she wrote about, is you never give up.
Oh, you were actually talking about me.
The blog. The blog. We have a blog.
Yes.
We have many things to share.
I study. I read. I want to know.
I
don't read enough. But
no guest has ever referred to our blog, just so you know. So this is a very
I was
big
like
deal.
literally by a person. Oh, yay, Wendy.
Yeah.
What was her last name?
Well, I thought you picked it up. Sorry. I sort of looked you in the eye, but you didn't get that. But so next time I'm going to give you a wink. But what it comes down to,
or a whack.
yeah, is you can be down nonstop, and you just never know. And the biggest example for me as a Raiders fan is a man with my wife, and the tuck rule happened. I was downstairs, and I said, Katrina, let's go have dinner now. We won. And I came back that night, and I looked at TV and saw the Raiders lost. I'm like, what happened?
Yeah.
And so for me, it's the opportunity, never give up, always push yourself. You could be really, really low. And if you are really low, you can talk to somebody.
Sure.
You just reach out and say, hey, I'm not feeling good about this. Anything you can talk with? Somebody's going to point you in the right direction.
Absolutely.
You're never alone.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, when you're in that mindset, you probably feel alone.
Sure.
And my whole thing is like, you know, with those kids, as I said earlier, you can get the wrong coach.
Yeah.
And I can look at a kid in the eye, I can see in their smile, their smirk or whatever, the right time and opportunity to, I'm lucky enough to be able to do it, to project something. And that is like, you're doing a good job. It's simple as that.
Yeah.
So.
Well, listen, I cannot believe the time has flown so
Neither
quickly.
can
We want to give you a minute to tell everybody where they can find WOLA and how to, I mean, Ryan's been putting up a lot from your
Thank you,
website,
Ryan.
but
Appreciate it. Well, first of all, I want to thank you for my first podcast.
Oh,
I've never done this.
So cool.
That's
You were
awesome.
amazing.
And I feel like I'm at home. So
don't you?
yes,
Awesome.
yes.
Good.
So you might have
two can have
to
one.
you might have to have a guy in between you two.
Oh, listen, we
but-
have
We're open.
But-
Expansion.
You can find us
every week. I
yeah.
want to do this every week.
Yeah.
3rd and Fairfax. We're across the street from the Grove and the Farmers Market. Lucky enough, my friend runs the Farmers Market in the Grove and the Gilmore family, and he held this space for us. So we have a great location. We have parking in the back. It's an easy location to get from anywhere from Beverly Hills to West LA to Hancock Park. It's a hop, skip, and drive. And that was key for us because majority of places, especially when you have kids' birthday parties, as you had your son's birthday party there, is you have to drive out to Deep Culver City or wherever it is, Raging Waters. But we wanted a facility that was there and accessible to people.
Exactly.
And so we're 3rd and Fairfax.
And your website real fast?
WOLAFit.com, WOLAFIT.com.
All right. We want to thank Craig for being
Thank you,
here. It's been a
guys.
fantastic conversation. As always, you can find us at thedistilleryinc.com. We are on all of your favorite podcast platforms, Spotify, CastBox, iTunes, Google Play, you name it. We are there. Thank you so much for joining us today. Thanks, James, for calling in. Ryan, as always, we really appreciate you being here.
Thanks,
and good to see you, even though I see you all the time.
All the time.
Thank you
All
guys
right.
for
Thanks
great
again,
We'll see you in a
everyone.
couple weeks.
Cheers.